Hey, transformational prevention again. Oh my. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. But we are stuck except you take my hand and know me better. Hey, know me better, love me better. Hey, take me better, love me better. It's the transformational parenting show with Olori.
In today's world, understanding and respecting boundaries and consent are crucial skills for young people. It helps them to navigate healthy relationship, be it friendship, romantic relationships, or even interaction online. Knowing how to set boundaries and respect others' consent is very vital and crucial. So today on the program, we're going to be looking at a very topic that has to do with teaching young people how to set boundaries and what consent is. My name is Olori. Welcome to the Transformational Parenting Show, where we talk about issues that have to do with parenting, youth development, and of course, family dynamics. So today on the show, my guest is someone who is well experienced and will be sharing her experience and throwing light on this issue. Please don't go away. I'll be right back.
It's the transformational parenting show with Olori.
Welcome back. Like I said, today we're diving into an essential topic, teaching consent and, of course, boundaries among young people. We will explore strategies for parents and, of course, teenagers to approach this topic effectively. My guest on the show is a registered nurse, midwife, and theologian. She is a trained parenting and child mentor with over 40 years of experience in counseling, training, and mentoring women, youth, and children. If she is not speaking or mentoring the next generation, she enjoys spending time with her children and grandchildren. And of course, she's also an health enthusiast. My guest is Ibiene. Nyanabo, thank you very much for being on my show today.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go straight into the subject matter. How do you think? No, let me ask first, why do you think consent and boundaries are important for young people?
Why?
Why?
Because where there is no order, there is disorder and chaos. And of course, a child that is not taught does not have, and so cannot give to the next generation. So it's a responsibility for every parent to make sure you transmit to the next generation what will make them fit into the next, their own space, and also be valuable to the society.
I like the angle you're coming from. What you don't have, you cannot give.
Yeah, that's right.
And you cannot practice. And how do you now, let the next generation or people around you to know that these are my boundaries? But you know what? When it comes to parenting, like you said, parents should teach. It is difficult with, should I say with this generation? It was in us. We had stubborn children, if I should call them stubborn, but I like calling them strong-willed personalities. So how can parents, with what we have now, oh, this is my space, you can't tell me what to do, with all those language up and down, how can parents begin to initiate, the conversation to teach these children about consent and about boundaries?
Thank you very much. That's a good question. But I always tell parents, don't think that this generation is worse than it was before. It's not worse. Things have always been bad. Let's take the first group of children that we have in the Bible, Cain and Abel. One killed the other. That was the first set of children the world ever had. Over what? Jealousy. What you had, my worship, Abel's worship was accepted, the other one was not accepted. When you have mother, what can be worse than mother? Taking a life. People have always been strong-willed. And that's why God in his love gave us, I said, teach a child the way he should go. And when he grows up, he will not depart from it. When people come to me and say, my child is this, this child of this, I said, no, you did not start early. So what do I say? Start early. Start from that first time that the child starts talking or the child starts doing things. Those that they used to say in my place is, if a child crawls and bites you, you too should crawl and bite back the child. I know people will say it's child abuse, but that was mother abuse. You teach. Teach. And what does teach entail? Talk, tell, and show.
Talk.
Tell and show. The child also have their space, which they expect you to respect, but then they will also, you have to take, like I taught earlier, where there are privileges, there must be responsibilities. So the child has to be taught that.
So no matter what, the initiative, the conversation should start from when they are little,
small, as young as they are. If you give an order, you give an instruction, you must insist that it should be carried out.
But from your experience, you've been able to do a lot of mentoring and, and counseling. What are some of the challenges or misconceptions parents face when it comes to discussing consent and boundaries with their young ones?
The challenges they face. Now, when a mother says, my child is, like you use the word strong-willed, you're excusing the child already. When a parent says, children of these days, you're excusing the child already. When you're saying, what they learn these days, they can always in school, their school, you're excusing your child. And we say, others may, but you cannot. You are my child. My child must be different. I always like to distinguish that. You must know that if you are my child, we have values in this family. You carry my name. You are not others. You are us. And us means you, me, your dad. I'm talking as a mother now. Then you and me, so that tomorrow, this same value I'm giving to you, you also will be able to give it to your children.
Now, let's talk about those things, because we've used a lot of words, these two words now, boundaries, consent. How do we apply them? What are boundaries? Where are boundaries? What are consents?
Consents are things that are agreed on. Again, when you talk to a child and the parents, child, this is what I like. This is what in this family we like to have things done this way. But please, when you want anything, could you ask? Ask. I go to some families and I see children just rush into the fridge. It's as simple as that. Take whatever, finish eating. I've gone to places and they drop things and they walk away. Now, the two will come in here. I've just used an example. Now, consent in this way means before you take anything that is not specifically given to you, you must ask for the consent of either mommy or daddy. That's consent. Then boundaries here says that, look, it is not allowed for you to just finish eating and throw your plate and walk away. No, we say no to that. Boundary is what you say no to, the limits you can accommodate. Then consent is what you agree to. That's where the difference comes.
Wow. So what about how do they apply that to other forms of relationship? Because you said if you don't have it, you can give it.
Yes.
So how do they apply, what areas should they apply consent and boundaries when they are relating to people outside the family?
Good. When you have imbibed these values, it's easy now for you to relate with other. When you relate with adults, you can relate very easily with adults outside. And also now you can relate with other children. You find sometimes children playing and another child takes another child's toy,
Yeah.
and runs away. It is not allowed. Did you ask for it? Ask consent. Even your playmate, you ask, please, could I have this? Yes. Take. Or when a parent is watching children playing and a child just comes, I've watched that, and you just take on. No. Or no, you push the other child. No, you cannot do that. If you want what this child has, ask for their consent.
How do
If they
you
give you, please, can I have this? That please, ask. That's what consent is about. Then when the person said yes, then they will give you gladly. Or if the person, and then again, be ready, the person can say no. You must know that I can say no. And if I say no, leave it there. It's mine to agree to give you or to say no. No, you cannot have it.
So someone who has been taught about consent and boundaries will understand that no means no.
No. Yes.
And when I say no,
No.
I should also learn to accept no
Yes,
as,
yes,
as
that's
an
it.
answer. But that's not what we have today in our society.
No, but you have to. That's because people are not the parents. Again, it's part of parenting. What I find from my own experience, most parents are not there to teach their children. So they leave others to teach their children. You have a house help who has not had any values coming from the village or wherever, no values. You have your standard, you have the way you want your children to behave. You leave these children for people who are not used to this, who don't even know that they need to ask, I beg, give me this now. When you're saying I beg and you're snatching it, that's not consent. You're not asking for the person's. And if I'm there, I say, give it back. Give it back because you have not asked for the consent. And when you do, please say please. Please. Always say please. If you don't say please, you don't get it. And that's the way I taught my children. If you don't say please, you don't get it.
What are some of the effects of not understanding boundaries and concepts?
It's like letting loose a cannon somewhere. Not understanding boundaries, indiscipline, chaos. You go to a place, somebody just keeps your food. People eat your food without even asking. And then you come back, you've not eaten. And somebody comes and finishes everything. Why? One, he has not asked. So, okay, there are two siblings. One has come and gone away with all the food. The other one is hungry. You have not taught love. Sharing between both of them shows love. Consent means, okay, can I have this? Mommy, please, can I have some food? Mommy goes, she knows what she has planned. Everything should be planned. Now you go and disorganize the whole family because you are behind that self-centeredness and selfishness. No, let's love one another.
Which results in sibling rivalries, actually.
Exactly. Let's love, and then you take it to the wider society. You see, we have people take other people's things in the society. That's how people steal. And they think, is it not just this one I took? It's not just. It's not even the fact that you took my thing. The fact that you didn't ask me for it. I had my plans.
Most of our conversation has been looking at, the child to
The parents.
the parents.
Good.
Let's
Look at the other
let's
one.
turn it around because it's so easy to say do what I I
Tell you
say,
to-
you know, and I say to you and do what I do. Because you mentioned that parents
I
don't
did.
have time to spend time with the children. So house helps or others are helping to do that. How do we not just tell, but show?
Yes.
But consent and boundaries. I want some very practical examples.
Now, between a couple, you want something from your husband. Love, please, can I have this? Let children hear you ask for things without taking, without consent.
Yeah, but what is his is mine. What is mine is his.
Yes, but you don't know his plan.
Wow.
Okay? You don't know his plan. What his is yours. And then when you get it, thank you very much. Now, you don't, because they will hear and they will know. Please, can I have this? Okay, let's talk about cars. That's one of those places. Now, can I have the car keys, please? Okay. Please come back by this time. I have a meeting at
Now,
4
is it
o'clock.
okay if I tell you, can I have this piece, and you ask me why? What do you want it for?
Relationship. That comes with relationship. It's if you have a good relationship. Now, if you have a good relationship with your spouse, it's not even at that point of interchanging keys that you ask, where do you want to go and what do you want with that? You know, between husband and wife, there shouldn't be secrets. There shouldn't be hide and seek. Explain why. When you explain why, then I'll be able to understand. Even if I don't understand, I trust you. That's the essence of a family. I trust. And when children see this, they are relaxed. They are watching. Because this is how they are going to build their own family. They know that. And again, with this, everywhere is calm.
You know, sometimes when we hear these words, consent, boundaries, we always look at it from a negative point of view, thinking that, oh, probably someone wants to question my authority or doesn't want to do things for me, and then we begin to put some checks and balances that are really not necessary. But from our conversation, we've got to find out that sometimes consent and boundaries are just to open up conversations, things that enables us to form relationships. And through that way, you're able to empower your children to be knowledgeable, what do I call it? To know the values that they stand for, and they are able to defend those values. I'll take a short break. I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere.
It's the transformational parenting show with Mute Olori.
All right, welcome back. It's the Transformational Parenting Show. My name is Muti Olori, and we are discussing the issue of consent and boundaries. So what are the advantages, you know, having to teach at home? Because these children will go to school,
Yes.
go to other places. What are the advantages of learning at home? How do they apply this at home? Having to teach consent and boundaries, how do you think that that would really help in the outside world?
If I give you the right to do this to me, that's consent. But where I have not given you that permission, then you are violating me.
So how do I teach my children consent?
Please always ask what is not your own. Always ask and ask it politely. Always ask for things and ask politely.
Which
It's
areas
not-
should I give consent to people if I'm a child? If I'm teaching my child, or you taught your children.
Yes.
What areas did you tell them that they can give consent to other people?
One does not violate your person. It's something you can give. Something you can give. You want my pencil, you can have my pencil. Don't violate somebody's privacy.
Now, young people watching you, what areas should they set boundaries in their lives?
Young people watching me, if we're talking about young people now, we're talking about girls or boys, don't touch my body without consent. Do not touch any part of my body, even as an adult, as old as I am. If people come near me and I see and I don't think I like the person near me, I relocate. And for young people, adolescents, don't touch any part of my body. Because at this stage of adolescence, the hormones run wild. I may be able to say, it's like, no, don't, no, no, no. But once you have stimulated anything, it goes on well. So the rule is don't touch. And please, if it's the person of the opposite sex, can we sit opposite each other? So that you don't make a mistake. That's setting boundaries. That's a physical boundary. Then when it comes to, social boundaries the same way. But again, conversationally, there are topics you come into. Please, I don't enjoy that topic. Can we please change that topic? This topic, no, I don't discuss this. It's none of your business. My personal, it's none of your business. Please don't go there. Or sometimes you're in a workplace and people use foul language. Please, I don't enjoy it. Can we change the topic? Or you move, you leave the place. So people now know what you stand for. Again, it comes from the home. Boundaries and values. What are your core values in your family? You carry it on to wherever you go. Where you go, people don't respect your values, move. One of the things my son will tell you, Mommy taught me, there is nothing I cannot walk away from. Teach your children to walk away from anything. Doesn't matter how much they are paid. If your boss bullies you or insists on this, no, thank you. Walk away. Because you are much more than who is saying.
I see that these are areas that sometimes is very hard, but the secret to it is start early.
Exactly.
Have core values in your home. Teach these things and show. Because children learn from modeling more than just hearing what you have to say. So if you're teaching patience, you're teaching love and kindness, be the first model of those values so that your children can learn them. It's easy for society, people to say to you, you want too much. Yeah, you don't like this kind of conversation. You don't like this. You don't like that. You don't have to do this. And like you said, you really don't have to do it because those who are bullying you or who are trying to break into those boundaries don't have values themselves. Wow. Okay, so we are now in this space and we have taught our children, we didn't teach our children and they have all gone out and we're seeing the repercussion. What do you think, as a final words before I let you go, these parents can begin to do differently?
Remember, one, these children are given to you by God to steward them, to teach them. Now you come back to yourself. What would you want to see changed? How do I want this to change? Call your children, love them unconditionally. Love them unconditionally. And then learn now that at this age, now they are adults, you cannot scold an adult. So, my mommy that used to shout, now she's not touched. What happened to mommy? Mommy is now born again. From where? From what? They are watching you. Now you do, as you show them, and as you speak to them lovingly and caringly, trust God, they will change. They will come to emulate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've enjoyed every moment spent with you.
Thank you.
And I've realized that, honestly, it pays off at the end of the day. It may look hard at the beginning when you're teaching those things, but at the end of the day, it's what forms the adults that they become. Yeah. So just understand that teaching boundaries and consent is only about teaching your children how to respect others and how to make others respect them. And when we're able to understand these boundaries, we're able to set them, I think we will get a safer society. What do you think? Right? So let's go out and begin to teach those values. Teach them in schools, teach them in homes, and let everybody begin to set those boundaries and request consent before you do anything. They say power is not given, it's taken. No, I think it's a wrong thing. You have my consent by my vote, then you need to do the things that we have agreed on. That's a topic for another day. My name is Muti Olori. I'll see you next week. But please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Reach out. Let's talk. And I'm sure we'll be able to make society a better place, starting with the family and beginning with you. Bye-bye.
Hey, transformational prevention again. Oh my, hey. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. Won't choose, you want me, take my hand and know me better. I know you love me, that's so comforting. But we are stuck to accept you, take my hand and know me better. Hey, know me better, love me better. Hey, take me better, love me better. It's the transformational prevention show with Mute Olori.